Hi, and welcome to Breaks Baseball. Today is a Yelp Friday. We're going to be going over the Houston Astros. And quite conveniently, Yelp started in 2007. And so we get to go through the Houston Astros at the end of their Biggio Bagwell days, going to the losing seasons, going from the National League to the American League, the build up to the World Series, and then the cheating allegations and the fall. So I got some good reviews coming up for you and some reviews that are kind of but I appreciate your time, and stay tuned here for Ruby Breaks Baseball Yelp Fridays. Thank you. With a Grammarly score of 98, Edgar B from Houston, Texas has 292 friends, 406 reviews, 292 photos. And like I mentioned, these run the gambit from 2007 to 2020. So you're going to get all the different levels of the Astros, from lovable losers to hated winners. And so you're going to see a lot of different, how would you say, looks here at this, and they're not all going to be pretty. So I will give the date for context this time. Usually I don't give the date, but context, this will show you where they were at in their history. So 7/14/2011. Forget Houston Astros and say hello to the old mocking nickname of Houston Lastros. That's a classic. Since we are firmly in the bottom of the standings in a bizarro world of baseball, we're number one. We won the World Series of Worst. That's what it says. We won the World Series of Worst. Here's how we did it. Number 1, firmly in the bottom of our Central Division. Number 2, firmly in the bottom of our league, the National League. Number 3, firmly in the bottom of both leagues of Major League Baseball. Sure, we're roughly halfway through the regular season, but there's no real reason to throw good hope after realistic despair this season. Let me reread that because I was already cracking up. Let me read that line before I crack it up. Sure, we're roughly halfway through the regular season, but there's no real reason to throw good hope after realistic despair this season. That's my favorite line already. The first review, we're in my favorite line already. It might get beat because I did not pre-read all these reviews. I went by the funny index. So we'll see. That might not be the best line. But it's pretty dang good. Did I cuss yet? I'm trying not to cuss. Grandma says cusses don't equal views, Ruben. And hey, you know what? Grandma watches a lot of YouTube, so I'm going to take her word for it. She's my YouTube expert. She knows how to get... Let me tell you, Grandma says I should tell Grandma stories on this channel. And I said, no, because you're not my mama. You know the old saying is, I could talk about my mama, but you can't talk about my mama. And I don't need the wife or my beautiful, lovely sister-in-laws getting mad at me because she thinks it'd be funny to tell these stories. They probably would be hilarious to tell. But I am not stepping in that for you guys. I am not. I'm not putting my marriage at risk to entertain you folks, nor am I putting my relationship with my sisters-in-laws in jeopardy to entertain you. So although I love Grandma's offer, no, not going to do it. Wow, how do I go off tangent and I'm the only person here? It's like, it should be easy for me to keep on tangent. All right, so here we go. Even the change of ownership from Drayton McLean to Jim Crane has turned up a snooze fest of excitement. Actually, putting any energy into hoping is a waste of time I could spend organizing my sock drawer. This is my favorite review of all time. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. We're 4 minutes in and I'm just gonna quit. That's the dryer. It's done its thing. Or cleaning out my dryer lint filter, which is funny. The dryer just went off. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I can't even read because my eyes are all. Can you see all the tears in my eyes? You probably doesn't. You can see right there. You can see the tears. It's the glossiness. Okay. Breathe. Yet, attending a recent game, 1st of July, against the Boston Red Sox, we lost. Surprised? Turned up a surprisingly 70% full Minute Maid Park. I guess we're all gluttons for punishment. Luckily, modern Minute Maid Park is air-conditioned and can amuse fans even during low-energy games like that Friday's games. And the promise of Friday night fireworks sponsored by Mammoth Oil. Sounds like a plug. Afterwards kept many fans in the stands. Let's try again next year, Houston Astros. I'll come back for maybe one more game, but it will be for the promotional giveaways. That's value. Who did they have back in 2011? I don't even know who they had in 2011. However, it's the scrub bobblehead. The Houston Astros scrub bobblehead presented by Marathon Oil. I got my eye on an umbrella in August, but that may not be as useful during our current drought conditions. At least I can use it to cut for. I read ahead. I couldn't help it. My eyes just saw it ahead. At least I can use it for my cover of Rihanna's Umbrella dance tune. Word on the street is that my version is fierce. Love this review. Useful 11, absolutely, add 1. Funny 16, absolutely, add 1. Cool 11, add 1. Yes. So that is a Houston Astro fan from 2011 talking about the hardships of being a Houston Astro fan at that point. That was, one more time, Edgar V. And I'm going to give Edgar V total props. That was, I don't see how this video is going to be downhill from here. You might get a 7-minute video because I'm like, well, it doesn't get any better than that. Let's edit there. With a Grammarly score of 96, Daniel K. of Dallas, Texas, has 0 friends, poor Daniel, 665 reviews, and 139 photos. This review is also from August of 2011. Frustrating team to root for lately, but I'll always be a fan. Was pretty hard to lose in the World Series in 2005, and when we almost got there a year before, that was an epic comeback. But I'll always remember Bagwell, Biggio, and everyone who filled my childhood memories. Went to games when I was still in a diaper and have traveled as far as Pittsburgh to watch them play. We'll contend again one day. Go Astros. For the record, I hate the Cardinals. That is all. And that's the only funny line in that. And the reviews show that. It got a useful of 2, a funny of 2, and a cool of 1. And usually I bump these scores up, but it only had the one funny line. And it was just a hate line, so I'm not going to bump Daniel K up. I usually bump up. You know me, I laugh at everything. I'm like, I laugh at stuff I probably shouldn't be laughing at. And I did find that line funny, but there's just not enough content there to really think that that's funny. So thank you, Daniel K. Appreciate it, especially coming from Dallas, Texas. Thank you for playing the game. Okay, this is going to be another 2007 review. This is Grammarly score of 96. This is Shanna M. from Lincoln City, Oregon. Wow. Yeah, wow. Shanna has 237 friends, 370 reviews, 311 photos. As I said, this was from October 2007. And apparently, she was the first Yelper to review the Houston Astros. First to review. As a parent, there are many things in Houston which can serve as an example of life lessons which can be passed on to children. The Astros are the embodiment of consistency. As soon as a winning streak starts to appear, they choke in some new and magnificent way. They were really bad back then. It is proven pattern of behavior which serves to enlighten the little ones. First, be predictable. Surprises make people uncomfortable. Second, wait, I can't go to 2. I'm still laughing at 1. 2. Okay, I can't do 2. But it's not even 2, it's second. Okay, second, a standard of... okay. Ruby, come on. Ruby, come on, Ruby, come on. Get out the sillies, All right, you got this, Ruby. Second, a standard of excellence can have... I can't have to cuss. I'm trying not to cuss. Man, but Shanna, you're so funny. Okay. Second, a standard of excellence can have many varied levels. As long as it remains a standard. So yes, your standard of excellence could be this high, or this high, or this high, as long as that is actually your standard. Standard. We have a low standard of excellence right here. Yeah. Will somebody please think about the poor children? Hey, I can't. This is my favorite review. I'm sorry, Edgar. Your review was so good. Shannon is killing it. And just like 10 lines or 5.5 lines. I don't know. Hey, the giant screen in the stadium sometimes distracts the crowd with amusing animated features. Let's not forget that either. Oh my God. I've never laughed like this on this channel before, but my eyes are just tearing up. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get one of those crying boogers come out in a minute. Oh, I need to breathe. I think we're like 2 reviews in, 3 reviews, and I'm okay. The review's not over. I skipped part of the review. I was laughing so hard my eyes fell down. So I I totally messed this up. Okay, so the important things to remember about the Astros are, and you're going to see where I messed up. I messed up so big. 1, Houston has a professional baseball team with statistics and everything. The games count. They count the numbers and everything. It's real. It's a real team. 2, beer at the game costs like $1 jillion, but I think financing is available. Then it says, hey, the giant... It says, hey, the giant screen at the stadium sometimes distracts the crowd with amusing animated features. Let's not forget that either. I don't know how good this camera is, but my face is wet. There are tears just rolling down my cheeks. It's like I can feel the air on the streaks, the wet streaks. Useful 5. Oh my God. Can I double that? Can I triple that? Can I quadruple that? Funny 11. Yeah, double, triple. Oh, like cool. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know what to say because usually I just add one, and then I'll say, oh, get on, and like add 4 or 5. But I want to multiply those all by a factor of a minimum of 5. I want to multiply them all by 5. So useful 25, funny 55, cool 40, at least, minimum. I want to do that. Oh my gosh. Shanna M. from Lincoln City, Oregon. I think you're my favorite reviewer ever now. Okay, let's see if I can pull it together here. Pull it together for the people. Do it for the people. The people from everywhere watching the show. Paying top dollar because they know when we're in a stage, we're in a F rage. Hey Dre, what's up? Why don't you get the 12 gauge and let's show them how easy does it. So if your punks want to make something of it, that's enough. That's enough there. That centered me though. That did get me centered. I still got the teardrops though. All right. With a Grammarly score of 84. Michael P. of Pearland, Texas, 76 friends, 177 reviews, and 77 photos. Hey, I'm going to put on my announcer voice. Yes, doesn't that sound sexy? Yes, I am married, but I'm married, so that's the end of that conversation. Thank you. All right, this is from May 2013. And don't waste your time or money on this team. Yet, the Houston Astros aren't even trying to be competitive. They're awful, pathetic, unwatchable, literally. There's a lot of dots or periods. There's a lot of punctuation in this. I think they lost all their points to punctuation. So with few people going to games, they're always blacked out anyways. Good riddance. So for those who don't know, if the game doesn't sell out, typically it can't be showed in the local market. The Astros in 2013 were so bad that they weren't getting sellout crowds, and therefore you could not watch their games locally. So, and hence the blackout. And hence for Michael P., good riddance. But how does he know they're blacked out? He's trying to watch them. He's being insincere. But he's funny, and so I appreciate it. It's a form of satire or comedy. I love it. So I'm not really complaining, but I'm saying, he's obviously looking for the games. He wants to watch the games. Haas, get out of there. Haas, get out of there. Good riddance. Being one of only 6 teams to have either lost 106 games in back-to-back seasons, the Houston Astros are now setting their goals even lower by trying to be the only second team to ever lose 100 or more 6 lose more than 106 games back-to-back seasons. In fact, with an 11-31 record in mid-May, the Astros are on pace to lose an astonishing 120 games, which would tie the all-time record for losses in the American League. Just maybe, if they play like they're really capable of, I know they can break it. if they live up to their full potential, they're going to lose 120 games. Okay. I repeat, don't waste your time on this calculated dumpster fire. He's right, it was a calculated dumpster fire. By not spending any money on talented players, lowest payroll in MLB by a wide margin, Astros management is guaranteed hoping that the team will suck. With this suckiness comes high draft picks and the hope of visibility in years to come. But in the meantime, Houston fans are left with a half-heartedly follow a rotten pile of crap. Let the new owner and GM tout out this embarrassment to a completely empty stadium. They're not really that concerned with winning for a while anyways. No stars, no good for kids, groups, or the general viewing public. Usefulness 3? It's way more than 3 because he's actually telling the truth. I mean, the truth. Funny is 4. I bump it up 1. Cool. 3. I could bump it up 1. But he's really telling the truth on usefulness. And he's really ahead of the game. He really understood way early what Houston was doing. He really understood that they were already tanking. And this became an issue later. And other teams started following the tanking. And it's really brought in question competitiveness and in baseball. And then as if the tanking weren't enough and the back-to-back 100-loss seasons weren't bad enough, then when we do get the chance to go back to the World Series, you have a cheating scandal. And it's really a dark chapter, honestly, if you can put it all together, and it really goes together. I mean, don't think that 2013 and 2017 aren't connected. Don't think that, 2011 and 2017 aren't connected. They're definitely connected. They were already willing to push the limits of truth, of sportsmanship, of the rules by basically floundering. And I'm not saying that floundering and being really bad hasn't been a strategy in this league or other leagues. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. I'm just saying that they perfected it, and it was really a symbol of how far they would take something and how much they thought they knew. And this is why, as a grown-up Astros fan, this is why I have a big problem following them right now. It really is. They really did think they were the smartest guys in the room, and they really didn't think about the consequences of and I am not giving the players a pass, but this is not just a bottom, dude. This is systemically throughout the organization. And honestly, the only reason, I'm gonna tell you right now, the only reason in NBA, the Major League Baseball MLB did not go harder on Houston was because there are discrepancies with LA, there are discrepancies with the Red Sox, and there are discrepancies with their cash cow, the New York Yankees. Now, I am not defending Houston at all, but what I am saying is if MLB didn't go easy on them and they really threw the book at them, then it was going to come out and baseball was going to suffer more than anything that COVID has made it suffer. Honestly, the COVID season, besides it not being financially that good for the baseball, has been a success in many other ways. This is not usually what we do here on Yelp Fridays, but this is something, you should know about. You should know that mentality went throughout the thread of the Astros. From those 100-loss seasons to the World Series and potentially into 2018-19. And man, can we just pray that they learn the lesson by 20? Can we just pray they learn the lesson? I don't know. I don't know. And a lot of you are just going to, hey, no, because we hate them. And some of them are going to say, yeah, they didn't do it because I love them. But I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't know what they did in 20. All right. So that was a very good review from Michael P. from Pearland, Texas, because he was right on the money on what they were doing and way early. He really had a great concept about what's going on there in Houston. You've been with Ruby for another Yelp Friday. My hands down winner in this day, even though it's not about winning, but Shannon M. killed it, and I really thank you, Shannon, and thank you for joining Ruby on a Yelp Friday. Good day.